Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sonya with Sonya Budgets, and today we are going to talk about budgeting at the beginner level. Now, if you watch budgeting videos, you'll know that there are a lot of toys out there, all kinds of pretty things that you can get, and and I'm guilty of that too. I also have the means to make them myself. I don't think I have. The only thing I've ever ordered off of Etsy is like some printables, like some trackers, some spinning trackers. I'll show you. And there's nothing on here to say who these are from, and I don't remember who I ordered them from, but there are plenty of people that you can't order them from. But my point of this video is you don't have to have all the bells and whistles. You don't have to have all the pretty papers and the pretty envelopes and the pretty binders. I've got binders myself. I've worked my way into them. This one right now is just birthdays, but I will add some more to this as I fill up my sinking funds for the year. I'll probably add them in here. But my point is, you don't have to have all the different markers. You don't have to have all of the boxes with the savings challenges. I made this myself. This is a box that I had ordered for my kitchen to organize my pantry, and it was the perfect size for this. You don't have to have all of that. What you do need, the only thing you really need, is a notebook and a pen or pencil. That's all you really need to get started budgeting your money. Now, the most important part of budgeting your money is the right mindset. You've got to be in the mindset that you're sick and tired of not having any money. It's 3 days to a payday, you're broke, and you're tired of that. And it just is exhausting. So you got to be in the right mindset. Just like if somebody come to you and said, hey, let's go on a diet. Well, no, I don't want to. I don't want to go on a diet. Your mind's not right. Your mindset is not right. And somebody, says, well, let's start exercising. Let's start exercising every day. No, I don't want to exercise every day. You got to have your mindset right. So, and if you're married, you both have to have your mind in the right mindset. If this is something you think you'll be interested in, I'm not going to ask you to subscribe. I'm not going to ask you to hit the bell notification or the thumbs up. You know all of that. You've watched YouTube before. You know all of that. So it's totally up to you if you want to hit the subscribe button. I'm not going to ask you to. But this is how that, and payday was 2 days ago. But I go ahead and I set out a rough draft of the budget that will be coming up next, which will be February the 4th. And I like to do this not in my Erin Condren. I like to put in my Erin Condren, I like to transfer it into there like the night before, because this could change several times between now and February the 4th. And this way I can scratch in the corners, I can do some figuring in the corners, I can cross something out, and all of that. So, and if you use a notebook, then like this one came from Target, just a pretty Think ink from Design Works ink. This was not very much. It's just a plain lined notebook with a place to put your date. It may be a journal. It may be kind of a diary type thing, but it's just lined pages. Okay, so this is how we start out. We start out with a rough estimate of our income for that payday. And I'm going to do a rough estimate of, for us, $3,400. Now, that's what I did last pay period, and it wound up being $36.81. But it's always best to figure this a little low if you're not exactly sure how much it's going to be. And figuring it low, you're not gonna be disappointed with your when it comes time to do your actual cash envelopes and all that. All right, so the first thing we have to do is take care of our bills. That's number one in budgeting, is take care of our bills. I'm going to budget $150 for utilities, $60.75 for my husband's cell phone, and $81.18 for mine. Our dish network, $116.27, and our car insurance, $152.40. That's full coverage insurance on 2 trucks and a camper. And I always make a $400 a month, a $400 a paycheck truck payment, and it is really helping my truck payment. I think I looked at my statement the other day. My next bill is not actually my next bill is not actually due until June the 12th. And it is January, so I'm doing really good on that. All right, so we're gonna figure up our bills. $150. Let's see, can you see this? Plus $60.75, $81.18, $116.27, $152.40, and $400. It's $960.60. Okay, then we're going to subtract this from this, and we have $2,439.40 to spend. All right, now on our cash envelopes, don't be on your, this is your everyday spending. This is stuff that you spend out of every day. Your spending money, your gas, your groceries. Everybody has to have spending money. You know, some people call it blow money, whatever. It's not realistic to think that you can get through life without having some, a little bit of money each week that you can just not account for. That you can just stop and get you a Mickey D's sweet tea, or you can stop and get, a cup of coffee, whatever. But you have to be realistic on these numbers. Don't be ambitious. Don't say, okay, I can get by on $5. That's, is that realistic? That may be realistic for you. So, I don't know what's realistic for you, but need to be realistic on this. And if not, I would suggest you be a little over what you think you could get by with. But we'd spend $240, and this is based upon 2 weeks. That's $120 a week for me and my husband. I get $40, he gets $80. He works out of town. I come home every night from my job. Gas, we budget $200 on gas. And then for groceries, we budget $300. Now, last pay period, we had left over $26, I believe, out of our grocery spending. Sometimes we may have more. Sometimes we may spend every dime of it. But that number is all-inclusive in everything. We have 2 dogs. That's their pet food. That is their treats. That is paper towels. That's toiletries. Everything we need to run our home for 2 weeks. And like I said, sometimes there's some left over. Sorry if you can hear my clock in the background. But those are realistic numbers. We have been living with those numbers for probably a year now, because my husband's he did get 60 and I got 40, but he has started working an extra shift per pay period, so we did up it by $20. So that is our realistic spending for 2 weeks. Okay, and I happen to know that number by heart because, like I said, that number's been the same for a long time. Okay, then we're going to take our what's left over after our bills is paid. $24.39.40. See, can you see my calculator? I think you can. Minus $740 is $1,699.40. Okay, now, this section right here is something that I do not suggest you start until you're comfortable with your budget, enough comfortable with your budget that, and it will take you 3 to 6 months to get your budget just perfect, just right for you and your family. And your budget will look totally different than mine. You may have small children or you have teenagers, and that completely changes your budget. So I recommend that you work on your budget for 3 to 6 months before you start doing any savings challenges. And those are just kind of fun and kind of like, working toward a goal. And if you're that kind of person, you would want to start some of these. And when you start a savings challenge, start with something that's small. Start with maybe the 52-week envelopes, which is this challenge. You number your envelopes 1 through 52, and then you stuff $1 in the first one and $2 in the second one, on down the line until you have all 52 envelopes filled. And or you could you don't have to have a jar with a counter on the top. I do. I got this at Big Lots before Christmas. Got one for me and my husband, and one for all of my kids. They were like $8, but just a washed out spaghetti sauce jar will work just as well. And it's getting heavy. I think it's got about $60 in it now. But Savings Challenge is something that I would wait until I was comfortable with my budget. Thankfully, my husband and I have been on this journey for the first paycheck of January would have been 2 years. We've been on it since 2020. And I cannot imagine going back to the old way of where we lived. I am not a financial advisor. I am a graduate of the School of Hard Knocks and Hard Lessons. That is my expertise. Okay, so for our savings challenges for this one, we are working on the $20,000 savings challenge. I felt like that was an actual challenge. I thought about doing the $10,000, but I believe that we have more than $10,000 worth of funds that we could tighten up on some. So we may not make the $20,000, but that is the goal. And we're going to be contributing $500 to that. The 52-week challenge, we're going to be doing 58. I try to do 2 envelopes per paycheck. And then we are doing Hands and Bands. We're doing her mystery scratch off. She has these on her Etsy store. And the last time we stuffed 2 and we scratched off 11. So $11 went into this budget. So $11 here. And the total on this is $569. Now I plan to really go aggressive with this as soon as our vacation is fully funded. I need to write down, because I forgot to write that down. I knew they were missing something. Alright, so what we had left over was $1,699.40. We're going to subtract our savings challenges. Now we have $1,130.40 left over. So, for our sinking funds are small savings accounts where you're saving up for a larger goal. A once-a-year purchase, a once-a-year event. You're saving a little at a time. I have got several, like 22 sinking funds, but I don't stuff all of them. I stuff the most important ones for the time. And then when I get those completely funded, that one will be retired, and then I will bring in Christmas. I think I will start coming in with it. I believe it is set to be brought in March. Let me look at my figures here. Yes. March the 18th, we will bring in back in, because I have pre-planned all the way to the middle of to the halfway through the year. I have pre-planned. Now those will get redone and refigured, but you know, best laid plans. But we have $1,130.40 left over. So for vacation, we are going to, the biggest portion of this is going toward our vacation. Now, if you have not been watching my channel, then you don't know that we are going on a family vacation with my husband, myself, all of our children, our grandchildren, and significant others. So, and we've already paid for the cabin, and now we're just working on some spending money, some going out to eat money, some things to do money, and stuff like that. So, we're going to deduct the $800. Now we have $330.40 left over. And on our house insurance, and I shouldn't have wrote that so big, we're going to contribute $45. And as you can see, the numbers go down, but it goes further than you think when you're doing it like this. Property tax, we're going to put in $10, so minus 10. The kids, we stuff them. We have envelopes for them that we stuff every month. We put $10 every month into their envelopes. Right here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children. And these are the grown kids. These are not the grandkids. And we give them each $10 a month. And that is given to them at their birthdays. Now, let's see, did I deduct that? I don't think I did. Minus 50. And then prescriptions, it's got to be constantly stuffed because my husband and I are both on prescription medications. My little boys, my little furry, four-legged boys, that was hard to say, they get $20. And because Rudy, he sometimes gets in trouble and has to be hauled to the emergency vet in the middle of the night because he got something hung on his tooth. Holidays. Holidays is not Christmas. Holidays is anything extra surrounding the holidays. We had about $150 in that account before Christmas, and we took all of the kids that were here at that time over to this Christmas attraction that's right here next door, 2 doors down from us, and paid their way in. And so we do have, I think, about $100 left in that account, but we're building that back up. And then miscellaneous, we put $50 in that, and projects, we put $50. So minus 100. And then the doctor copay, we put in $20. So we have $35.40 left over at the end of, it's a buffer for your account, for your checking account. So if something slips through, or you get caught out somewhere and you have to use your debit card because you don't have your money with you, which is shameful. Don't do that. Don't use your debit card. But let me go back and figure out the exact amount on these sinking funds. Okay, $1,095. And if we take that $1,130 minus $35.40, that's what we have left over. And so, like I said, when it comes to your groceries, don't say, oh, I think we can get by on $200, a pay period. And that's not realistic. And you don't make it, then you could get discouraged. And don't get discouraged. Start out, higher than you think, and then after 2 weeks, you see that you budgeted $300 and you got by on $275, then you can drop it then. But I would leave it at the number you choose for a little while. Whatever you have left over, stick it into a, I have a envelope back here that all the monies that are left over out of gas, spending, and groceries, it gets rolled over into this envelope. And then, you know, whenever maybe need some money because the light bill is a lot higher this month or whatever, we can take some money out of there. But don't sell yourself short on your budgeted numbers. Now, these bills gets us from February the 4th all the way to February the 17th, the day before the pay period on the 18th, the paycheck on the 18th. So this is all the bills, and I don't have to make a truck payment every 2 weeks, but I do so that I can bring down my principal balance, and that brings down how much goes out into insurance. I happened to check this morning to see our starting balance on this debt we're working on here was $37,702.34. I checked the website today because I do pay that online to see if it had actually hit, and the balance now is $29,029.72. So, and I'm going to take wait a minute, let's see, 37,702.34 minus 29,029.72 equals $8,672.95 that we have got paid off on that. And that is, we've been paying on it for about 14 months. So I'm going to divide that by my debt payoff challenge here. Each of the honeycombs are worth $377.02, and that means we have 23 that can be colored in. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So we can color in another one. That is so thrilling. We get this one over here by the B. Hopefully that can be seen. And I put a dot in the center of each of these honeycombs. My goal is to have all the ones with the dots filled in by the end of the year, and hopefully we can, you know, do some more. I know the other day I figured it up, and I could fill in 2 more, but then I made another payment, and I could fill in another. And that's the actual balance, not the payoff. The payoff is actually a few dollars more than the balance, and that don't make any sense to me. But anyway, this is how I do my budget. Your numbers will be totally different. Your number here will be different. It could be more, it could be less. All of your bills here, I mean, our utility bills are high in our area compared to what I've watched other videos. What theirs are, their utility bill may be $60, which is weird because we live right here in the Tennessee Valley, where we have dams that dam up the water and produce our electricity, and we're covered in water around here, but we still pay. We've got water all around us. We've got Tennessee River, Second Creek, Blue Water Creek, and Shoals Creek, and Elk River, and all these just right here at us. And our water bill is about $25 a month. And so your car insurance, that's based upon, the area that you live in. So your car insurance could be more, it could be less. I wish ours was a lot less. We're both in our 50s. We have good driving records. And, I want to go, I need to go talk. And that's what I do with my bills. And I'm like, I just feel like that's too high. So I'll just get in the truck and go down to Alpha and sit down and say, okay, what can we do to get this insurance knocked down, get it down to a more reasonable number. I did that here a while back, and it went from 175 to 152. Maybe time to go and do it again. But You know, if you have bills that are not necessary, like we don't have Wi-Fi. We used to have Wi-Fi. It was $99.68 a month, and it was no good. You streamed 2 movies, and you were used up for the month. So I had that. The contract was up, and I had it taken out. You know, so you need to evaluate. So, do I really need that? Now, don't get your cable. Don't say that I told you to turn your satellite off. Your husband comes home to sit down to watch a ball game, and you no longer have satellite or cable or whatever. You know, I'm not advising you to do that. Maybe your package is too big. You know, have it trimmed down. You don't watch all those channels, so have it trimmed down. You know, but I would talk to my significant other before I did any of those trimmings. But, you know, sit down with your partner, your husband, your wife, whatever. And if they can't get motivated, let them watch a video on somebody that's doing a cash stuffing. Now, a lot of the people that do cash stuffings, that's all they do. That's the only videos they do. They don't actually sit down and go over the numbers with you. And to me, that is very helpful in showing you how this system works. Now, I could just every 2 weeks bring out a big stack of cash and say, okay, we're going to do it. But you need to know how we got to that place, how we came to be at that spot in the road by, this is where our numbers came from. This is how we decided how we was going to spend our money. Like I said, I may go through here and say, okay, I can't put but $700 on that vacation because I am going to need extra money on groceries because my daughter and her husband and their 4 kids are coming in from out of town, and it's going to take that. You know, so I don't know in the next 2 weeks what may come up that this will have to be adjusted. You know, I don't know. But there's one thing that I can give you advice about. Instead of starting out with all of these sinking funds and have them in categories, just pay your bills, have your cash envelopes, and we keep our cash, I don't have them in here, we keep our cash envelopes in a black binder, zip-up binder, and I don't normally carry it around with me, but I had to go pick up some stuff a while ago, so I had it. But I normally only carry around my little change purse like thing that zips all the way around. That's where I keep my spending money. And if I need gas money, I'll slip some money in that and go buy my gas. I don't usually carry around the binder that holds our everyday spending unless I'm going to do some grocery shopping or whatever. But I suggest you take all of your sinking funds at the very beginning until you're comfortable enough to break them down. And just make yourself a miscellaneous sinking fund. That's the only sinking fund that you need. It's a miscellaneous. Now, you need to have a nice emergency fund so that when something comes up, and it will, something, your car will break down. You will have something to come up. Your hot water heater could spring a leak, or you could, you know, there's many different things that can come up, and if you don't have, you need an emergency fund of at least oh my goodness, you need at least $1,000 to start out with, because there's nothing that will wreck a budget faster than something unexpected to come up. So, I hope you found this informative. There's no money to be seen today except for the 52-week savings challenge. You didn't see much of that. But I just wanted to do a video that did not have me out here with 3-inch long fingernails counting out cash. And you had no idea how I came up with that amount, and no idea how that I decided where the money was going to go. So, this has been February 4th paycheck has already been spent, and it will, as soon as it hits the bank, then I will put it in its appropriate places. But as of right now, it's already gone. It's already been spent. I have a plan for it. I know where it's all going to go, and this is how it's looking for February the 4th. So, now I do do savings challenges. I do, right now I'm working on the $20,000 savings challenge and the 52-week savings challenge. Those challenges have slowed way down because the numbers are getting bigger. And this, I'm already up to the, well, the 2 envelopes is $58, so it has slowed down. I started off with a bang. I filled up the first 20 real quick, but it has slowed way down. And then the $20,000 savings challenge, I started out with numbers like 150 and so some 300, 250, 200, these the low ones. And then ran out of the low numbers and start getting into the high numbers, and this challenge has slowed down too. Now, some weeks we can stuff 2 of those. Some weeks we can only stuff 1. These are the envelopes that I have that are left to stuff, and in total there are 52 of them. So, you know, in the challenges, do not compare yourself to other people that do the challenges. You know, do it at your own pace. Finish it when you get finished, and don't worry about the fact that it's called a 52-week challenge. It may take you 104 weeks. It may take you 2 years instead of 1 year. It may take you 6 months. Some people can do a challenge in stuff, all of these in you know, a couple of months. I can't. I have other obligations and I have other things, so I cannot stuff it that fast. So I hope this helped you out on how to get started. Take your income, add your bills up that are due between pay periods from the 4th until the 17th, which is the day before payday, and decide what falls in that time period. And you need I don't have my Erin Condren in here, I don't believe, in front of me. I don't think I do. I think she's in there on the couch. But a month and one, you know, where you can see a month at a time, have all your bills written down and see what falls between the 4th and the 17th, and then write all those down. And then the next time we will do February the 18th until I believe it's March the 3rd. And so and put all the bills that falls in there. Always have cash envelopes every 2 weeks. And then, you know, if you want to do savings challenges, I would wait on those until I was secure in my numbers. Just any money that you have left over, just put it into a miscellaneous envelope, and until you get comfortable with your budget's what I'm trying to say. Until you get comfortable with your numbers, and your numbers will change. And when you first start this out, your numbers will change drastically from one day to the next. So, but that's what we're looking like on February the 4th. I hope this helped you out. I hope this gave you an idea of how to do this. I don't know how I could have broke it down any simpler. And but I appreciate it, and have a great day. And happy budgeting. Bye-bye.